Hey everyone, Dr. Josh Matson here, Infinity Chiropractic Center. I'm going to talk to you guys about today. I know conferences are either going on right now, they're coming up, and what we're going to end up finding out is a lot of kids are struggling in school. They're either going to have reading issues, they're going to have handwriting issues, they're going to have attention issues. So I'm going to do some videos here to help you guys out. But what I'm going to talk about today is reading issues, and I'm going to kind of show you a mini compilation of a lot of different kids' videos that I've recorded, and their parents have said it's okay to share. But what I'm going to show you is what kids' eye tracking looks like, how their bodies move when they come into the office when they have reading issues, the deficits that are there. And it'll all make sense to you that a lot of these kids that struggle with these different learning disabilities, they don't even have a basic foundation for learning. So the body has to be developed really well. The eyes have to be developed really well for their body to function well. If their body can't function well, they can't learn efficiently. So that's what I'm going to show you is deficits in kids' eye tracking and how they move. And I'll show you videos of that. And then I'll show you after we work on them and give you tips and tricks of what you can do to help your child function better. One of these videos I forgot to mention, all I'm doing is I have a dot on my finger and I'm having them track from side to side. Some I have go up and down, some I go in and out, but all I'm having them do is slowly track with their eyes. So super easy test you guys can do with your kids. Just have them track really slowly, and you can do this for 30 seconds, a minute, and you'll start to see breakdown in their eyes, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, follow my finger again. Keep following. Keep following. Good job, bud. Keep following. Keep following. Keep following. You're doing great. One. Okay. Tell me when you see two. Okay. Can you make it one? Still two? Don't turn your head. Just keep your head straight ahead. Can you make it one? No. Is it one now? Is it one now? Okay. That's about 3.5. So, do you see one or two?
Two.
Do you see one yet?
Two. One.
One? Okay, that is about 8 feet. She sees one. So convergence insufficiency at 8 feet.
One.
Okay, so I just showed you a few different kids what it looks like in their eyes when they have reading difficulties. They have what's called saccadic eye movements. They have skipping of their eyes, jumping of their eyes, and it's usually right around midline, right around the middle of their vision. You'll see these big skips, and they'll keep going. Some other kids will also have convergence issues where they can't bring their eyes in, and they're struggling really, really hard just to keep their eyes in. It's called convergence insufficiency. About 1 in 10 kids have it, but it's really common with kids that have reading issues as well. But originally, what those originate from are what are called primitive reflexes. So primitive reflexes are reflexes that help your brain to develop, help your body to develop, really in the first year of life. So what we see with a lot of kids that have reading issues is they had difficulty either with one, they never army crawled, they didn't crawl appropriately. They learned to walk at about 9 months because they couldn't crawl appropriately, or they walked really late and crawled really late. So all those are signs of abnormal development. And typically what we find in that is they have what's called an asymmetrical tonic neck reflex. It's a reflex that short is ATNR. But it helps to develop the ability to crawl. It helps to develop the ability for the eyes to track across midline. It helps to develop good muscle tone and appropriate muscle tone. Helps with balance, coordination, things like that. So I'm going to show you guys videos next of what that reflex looks like when it's present. And then also I'll show you if I can find a video of a symmetrical tonic neck reflex It's a reflex that helps with convergence of the eyes, divergence of the eyes, helps with development of the low back musculature so kids can sit for long periods of time. But I'll show you some videos of those, and I'll explain those to you after I show you these videos. But what you're looking for is, in both of these, I'm going to have kids go on their hands and knees, and I'm going to turn their head. What I'm looking for is if their arms drop out at all. And then that's, if their arms do drop out, that's called an asymmetrical tonic neck reflex. Their arms shouldn't drop out at all. And then with a symmetrical tonic neck reflex, you bring their head down and their arms drop out. And that's what I'm looking for the symmetrical tonic neck reflex, or short as STNR. So I'll show you guys those videos now. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to show you what their eyes look like after you get rid of the reflex, which is super cool. And I'm going to talk about how we did it in these different cases. So stay tuned here. Asymmetrical, where the arm drops out here. Every time, the more you do it, the more it gets worse and worse, and you can't really resist that either. This side, same thing will happen. On hands and knees, perfect. Head drops out. Same thing. Okay, sit right here. Okay, so that's kind of crazy, right? Like, so kids still, those children still have reflexes that should go away the ATNR should go away at 6 months of life. The STNR should go away at 8 months of life. And really right around that time that they start to crawl is when those reflexes should go away. What you saw there is they're on their hands and knees, right? You turn their head and their arm falls out. Well, to crawl, you have to turn your head and extend your arm. So if your arm falls out every time you try to turn your head, it creates difficulties with crawling, and it creates a lot of times asymmetrical crawling. Sometimes they'll just keep their head perfectly straight and do this type of thing with really quick, really fast crawlers. Or kids will say, you know what, this crawling thing is way too difficult. I'm just going to stand up and start walking at 9 months, which developmentally for the body and for the eyes is not good at all. Crawling is how you develop both sides of your brain connecting together, the ability to cross midline. So it's really, really important that they do those activities. So anyways, that's a big part of actually our treatment when we look at these kids is we have them recreate normal neurological movements they're supposed to do at very young ages to help them to redevelop through that and hit those stages that they missed. So now I'm going to show you some videos again. These are going to be after we got rid of the reflexes, what their eyes looked like. And in all of these cases that I show you, their reading improved dramatically. I think the lowest one of these videos was in 1 month was their reading improved subjectively by the parents was 50%. And going all the way up to 75, 85% just by getting rid of these reflexes. So, and then we work on a lot of other things, and if needed, after that we send them to vision therapy to help them get it fully corrected if needed. In a lot of cases, it decreases their vision therapy huge amounts. So, but anyway, so this is what I'm going to show you the videos now, and then I'll have another video after. So, okay, follow my finger again, bud. Okay, follow it. Tell me when you see 2. 2 there. Okay, 1. 1 there. Okay. 2 there. Can you make it 1? Not quite. Okay. 1 or 2?
1.
See 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 1 or 2?
1.
How long have you seen double vision?
I think in 2016 I just had reading glasses because it was hard for me to read, and then I got glasses last year.
Okay,
So I started seeing double vision last year.
Okay. First time you've seen 1 of everything in a long time?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, wow. That's it looks really cool when those changes get made, But in all actuality, these kids put in a lot of work to get to that point. We have them do exercises daily to help get to that point. But a lot of these changes are over a month or month and a half time period. And those kids did. They put in a lot of work. They made some dietary changes if needed. And they did what they were told to do, and they got great results. But the results are super consistent if you follow a structure that we put together for these kids to help them. So if your kid is struggling in school, first and foremost, you need to look at their primitive reflexes and see if they still have them. A lot of them do. And they're basically, what's happening is they're just fighting their own body, and they're fighting their own eyes. They're fighting a reflex that shouldn't be there right now. Secondly, nutritionally, you have to look at them. A lot of these kids are sensitive to gluten. Gluten is in breads and pastas and those types of things, and there's gluten-free options, but a lot of these kids are super sensitive to it, and it creates a lot of eye tracking difficulties. Some of them they're not breathing appropriately. They're not getting oxygen. So your brain, to function well, needs good nutrition, it needs oxygen, and it needs stimulation. If they're not getting one of those, you can't stimulate their brain, it can't grow, it can't develop. So making sure that their tonsils aren't ginormous, they're breathing through their nose, they're getting good air supply, they're not having issues there is really the three things that we look at to see if we can help these children develop more efficiently. If we can, we give them stimulation activities. We do in-office stimulation activities to start to activate their brains, get their brains developing appropriately, and that's why we see such huge changes like you guys saw in the previous videos. So if you guys have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer any of them. You can give us a call. I'll put a link in here so you guys can send a request to through our webpage to my staff. And if you have any questions, we can answer them there as well. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.